I've still not seen any. I should look for Nicholas Smut before we go, because someone will have written that.
I don't want to hear about the Clussy.
Too bad.
Don't do that.
I don't like the way he had to get close up to the fucking microphone to do
I'm
it
trying
either.
to channel my boy Elias, but I guess not.
Can't do Elias,
I
bro.
know
You're
I
not ready. You're not the iDaddy yet.
Probably
Got a
for
long
the
way
best.
to go. You got more fanfics to
Oh
read.
no! Oh, Grace is onto something. Shit, this has been the Magnus Archives all along.
No, come on, we don't have the reviews for that, do we?
You know what? We fucked up.
The 15th fair.
We should have been reading. We should have been talking about these fics in the style of how John does them. So, for example, let me post this one. I don't even know what this one's about yet. It's just what was on the front of my screen. Statement of Violetta _ Lamau regarding Miss Muffet can eat my worms. Magnus
Flawless.
Archives group
Chapter
chat
1.
fic but me edition. Season 1 AU, where Jane Prentice decides instead of terrorizing Martin, she wants to ruin Elias's scheming. This leads to problems.
Yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah. I actually know how to open this one. For once. I know, right?
It's it's only taken, what, 5 years?
Oh, this is just a one-off. There's just something I'm excited to talk about.
Okay.
Go on then.
We do have many fans out there.
Do we?
We do, yeah. Occasionally I get stuff written in. People like and share us on social media. But we now have a number one fan. Undisputably our number one fan.
Really?
And I don't know if I want to share their name or not. I'm going to share their name. I'm going to share it, and if we change our mind, I'll bleep it out. There's a man called David who is following us on LinkedIn.
Oh my god.
Do you remember when we started this show and I set up all the social media, and as a joke I was like, oh, go on, I'll just make a LinkedIn. That'll be funny. No one's going to follow us.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 years later,
Somebody
someone has followed us on LinkedIn. His name is David.
Oh my god.
He is a director at...
I'm sorry, what?
No way.
He's spent years... Because I've got his LinkedIn, so I can see his job history.
No, there's only going to be so many directors of can't say which bank.
I'll bleep things out if in the edit.
Okay.
So he is the director of Anne Bank.
Yeah.
we
Yes. Sure. Well, it's on his LinkedIn. It's all publicly available.
Look, just...
Yeah, but it feels
but-
too close to doxing, bro. Like,
That's very true. Okay, I'll bleep out any
because
sensitive
like
bits.
he's clearly confused. He's like
Yes.
the shipping container people. He thinks that we're to do with the I don't know, the fucking North Sea forecast.
I mean, far be it from me to... I'll show you guys a picture.
I just...
Far be it from me to judge what from what I know of our target demographic. This man does not fit within our target demographic.
No, absolutely fucking
Like
not.
it is most fans I've heard from. It's like 18 to like 30, mid-30s tops. And then there's this bank director who has followed us on LinkedIn and is either our number one fan, because he's the first person to put it out there on his LinkedIn to say, yes, I'm a fan of these weirdos, or he's quite lost.
This... I feel really bad now.
Don't.
I feel like it was a mistake to have our logo in black and white and grey. You know what I mean? Because it says age-old institution.
A little bit, yeah.
And he probably didn't have his glasses on.
No, I just want to point out all the trash talking we've done of the Conservative Party and finance and tech bros and capitalism that we have done in the past 5 fucking years. And there's this poor guy, like, just, I don't know, wanting to hear about some shipping.
Yeah, And he's in the thick of everything we hate. Like, he is the guy. Like,
I mean,
we
he
complain
could still
about.
be an interesting person that works at a bank. We don't know.
Oh yeah,
So,
like, you know.
So, David, on the off chance you are a fan and you are listening to us, thank you so much for following us on LinkedIn. It made me chuckle. Reach out and we'll. You can pick the next topic. I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah, I wanted to share that because it amused me. I suspect, much like the Vietnamese shipping company that follows us on Tumblr, he may be here by accident.
Yeah, he's probably entirely in the wrong place. So.
If so, it's the other one. Click the other one.
Yes.
Yes. We don't post the episodes on LinkedIn, by the way. Maybe we should.
Maybe we should.
I'm going to see if I can post our episodes on LinkedIn so people can listen to the show.
Yeah, but like we're gonna get a load of bankers looking through his portfolio and then seeing us, and it's just gonna be like,
No, just one sec. If you're going to post them, you need to give them a title like, I made a podcast episode this weekend,
Yes.
and here's what it taught me about synergy.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. All the other social media posts, they're normally like, hey, on today's episode, we ask hard-hitting questions like, what was the first yowie? Who would win between Grace and a goose? Stuff like that. But the LinkedIn one will be, Grace fought a goose today, and here's what it taught us about B2B learning.
Yes.
oh my god.
And I'll just write that out. It'll be fun.
Oh dear.
So, are you both enjoying Halloween? Because this is going out on Halloween.
Yes,
which means obviously
absolutely.
we
Hang on,
have recorded it on Halloween.
Wait, can we just pause for a second so I can answer the door and hand out sweets? Ah,
Of
there you are,
course.
my child. Okay, I'm back.
Excellent.
Good.
Ha ha ha.
Nick, what are you dressed up as?
I went for the old reliable. I'm a relatively sort of heavy set, bald man, so I went for Uncle Fester from the Addams Family.
Excellent.
Hey.
Grace, who are you dressed as?
I have gone as a zombie.
Nice. I have gone as one of the 14 existential horrors in the Magnus Archives. Because that's
Oh.
what we're talking about today.
Okay,
Yeah.
which one?
So not Laszlo Ravenscroft.
Not Laszlo Cravensworth.
Cravensworth. Why do I always call him that?
I don't know, but honestly, maybe I will. I mean, we have been talking about doing a Halloween party.
Hmm.
If we do, I'm dressing up as Laszlo, because that's a very easy costume for me, because I do just look like that.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm unsure of the Uncle Fester actually, because I will have to pick my head and put like loads of white face paint on.
Oh, it'll be fine.
That'll be alright.
I may just do the old reliable Arthur Dent dressing gown.
Classic choice. Yeah, I'm just one frilly shirt away from Laszlo, and there is a frilly shirt in my wardrobe that I could just put on and be there.
Fair enough.
So, low effort, may as well.
How dare you two be so low effort?
I mean, I'm putting in some effort.
I'm gonna try so hard.
I might get a cowboy hat. I might get a little toothpick.
You could go as Jackie Daytona, to be fair.
Jackie
yeah.
Daytona, a regular human bartender.
This is the
It's coming together.
I know what's going to happen. We're going to be sat at one of our houses. I'm in my dressing gown. You're in your frilly dress shirt. And we'll hear a knock at the door, and there'll just be this 10-foot tall fucking xenomorph. And then the suit will open, and it's like Grace in the middle. It's like, yeah, I made an effort. Where's yours?
Well, Grace was too scared to go see Alien Romulus with me, so I don't think she's going as a xenomorph.
Fair enough.
It was the forced oral sex in the advert that frightened me off.
To be fair, only happens in one scene.
I don't care. It's too graphic. It was gross.
That's fair.
Fair
It was
enough.
still a very good film. Maybe we'll do an Alien episode at some point.
Gonna be a lot of monster fucking in that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you know about the Magnus Archives?
I know it exists.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, you've come to the right place, because me and Grace listened... Well, I listened to the whole thing. I don't know if Grace listened to the whole thing.
I did, but I wasn't really paying attention towards the end because it was a bit shite.
Yeah, I was very into the Magnus Archives when it was coming out weekly. I caught up around season 3. I listened to season 4 weekly. I didn't listen to season 5 weekly because I just sort of dropped out. Season 5 is when it changes the formula, and I have to say I wasn't a fan. But
Okay.
I was very much into it at all the other parts, to the point where my minor internet claim to fame, I worked on a D&D subclass set for every power in the Magnus Archives
Oh, cool.
that you can still track down on the internet today.
Oh, wow, so it's out there, like you're in the credits.
Not an official thing, no, God, no.
Oh.
It was a fan thing. No. I'm not that good. No.
Well, but believe in yourself, you'll be okay.
So what you're saying is you're proud of something you did.
Yeah, I'm proud of something I did.
Okay.
It got a lot of upvotes on the Reddit.
Oh, go you.
Famous
I
on
think
Listen
Reddit,
to
here
this
we
guy.
go.
I think it's one of the most read things I've put out there on the internet, because it was 14 whole subclasses, one dedicated each of the pantheon of the Magnus Archives.
Oh, nice.
I was going to
You
do
can
another
hear the
set.
smugness in your voice, and I'm really bad at picking up this shit.
Fucking
That was
hell,
more of a-
Grace.
I'm allowed to
saying-
be proud of things, Grace.
I know, I'm pulling your leg. It's just like
It didn't sound it. That was just a low kind of. I'm just in there, kick him in the balls while he's trying to be proud of something.
No. It was, I just find it amusing. Go, and I just haven't even mentioned that it was, 5,000 works or blah 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 blah. Humble brag.
It wasn't like that. Come now.
It's how it sounded to me.
I hope that was just you, because I don't think I sound like that.
Okay, well, you can listen to yourself on the recording and decide
Sure.
for yourself.
Anyway,
To be fair.
Yeah, we should get on
Yeah.
with this.
to be fair,
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair, it was quite funny. But, yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
right. I've got a quiz lined up.
Okay,
Excellent.
It's in the quiz section of the Discord.
let's go to the quiz section of the Discord.
It's about fear.
Oh.
Dun, dun,
Spoilers for the
dun.
Magnus Archives from here on out.
So the Magnus Archives is a story about fear.
Yes,
Okay.
and spookiness, and British people with handsome voices.
I see. Right. So it's basically us, really.
It's basically us.
Yeah.
Well, 2 out of 3.
Just with writers.
3 out of 3, just with writers and scares instead of laughter.
Yes.
So, question 1: if you had a superpower, which one?
Fucking time manipulation.
Yeah, that.
Invisibility, teleportation, flight, time manipulation, immortality, shapeshifting, super speed, super strength, or telepathy.
100%.
I think time manipulation. It depends what flavor of time manipulation, but yeah, I want to be Dio.
Well, honestly, I'd just settle for, like, if life had a snooze button, so if you've had a bad night's sleep but you've got to be up for work, you can just, like,
Yeah, you
hit
can keep doing
snooze,
it.
and it pauses
Sleep
time for,
forever.
like, half an hour while you
Yeah.
have a nap. Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you pause with it so you don't gain the effect?
Then you'll never be able to unpause.
Yeah.
No, as in your body doesn't gain the effect.
Oh.
But you can still move about.
I get it. So, yeah, so basically time
Like-
stops and you stop with it.
Like super speed, you're going really fast, but everything feels like you're going regular speed. Oh, I'll just get this job done. I'll use my super speed, but it still takes you
It'll
all
still
day
take you
because-
a long time, but then you can snooze and recover, and hopefully you don't age in the time stop. Otherwise, that'd just be awkward.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is true. Like, how I am most mornings, people would look at Nick, he's 32, but he's got the body of a 40-year-old. And it's like, shit, okay. People are
Because you
starting
use
to
Bernard's
notice.
watch too strong.
Yes, this is it.
Right. We do need to power through these, because there's 60 now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay. I got The Slaughter,
Ooh, okay.
which is the manifestation of the fear of unpredictable, unmotivated violence.
I can see it, because a lot of the Slaughter's stories are tied to World War II and World War One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
yeah.
are. Literally all of
In
them.
fact, pretty much all of them.
They're quite
yeah.
good, though.
The Slaughter, it is.
Give them a
The
listen.
Slaughter is all just violence, and yeah,
Interesting.
it's the fear of just merciless violence.
I wouldn't call it. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a fear. It's more an
Maybe I'm not explaining it well.
Yeah, I know. I kind of get where the story's coming from, but like mine's more of a. I don't want to say fascination because that sounds creepy. It's interest. What are the men feeling as they're walking across the airfield, climbing into a bomber? You know, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense that the slaughter would be one somewhat tied towards you.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, I suppose they're fearing the anticipation of being beaten, bloody, and possibly killed.
Well, fair
Mainly.
enough, really.
So I suppose I feel a bit like
So
prey.
heading to the wiki, it is a fear of pure, unpredictable, unmotivated violence with strong ties to war. It is the fear of not knowing where, how, or when pain will come, but that it will, and can be violent like a frenzied killer, or calm, cold, and regimented like soldiers firing on the battlefield.
Ah, okay. This honestly sounds more and more like my jam.
Oh, there you go. Grace, or should I go next?
I don't mind. I got the web.
Okay. So the web is...
Which James will hate
Always.
because it's spiders.
Well, it's spiders, but also manipulation. The web is a lot of spider imagery, but it's also like the master manipulator of all the fears. It is the power behind everything.
I think exactly, it's the fear that all people who are into conspiracies fear the most, right? Like this is the one tickling at the back of your head, going, the vaccine was causing cancer, and the world's actually flat, and everyone you know and love is falling off the edge of it. And it's just shit
that is
like
such
that.
a grace-coded answer.
You
So from the wiki, it is the fear of being controlled or trapped without knowing it, and your will not being your own, of being manipulated. It manifests as spiders, webs, and web-like patterns, marionettes, and addictions.
Oh.
Forgot to mention the slaughter often manifests as music, in particular pipes.
What, bagpipes, I'm assuming?
All kinds of pipes.
Okay.
And I got
PVC pipes.
I got the eye, not PVC pipe. So I got the eye, which is the fear of being followed, watched, exposed, having secrets known, and/or someone witnessing you suffer and not helping.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds like the sort of thing you'd hate.
Yeah.
So that means all I have to do to freak you out on Halloween is just drive down to your house and stand outside.
I mean, that happens in a Magnus Archives
Yeah.
episode, like someone just being watched constantly.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, kind of spooky.
It is a really cool series.
Yeah,
that you
so
should
there's
definitely listen to
each
it.
power is... The powers are fueled by human fears. Like, the oldest one is the darkness, because that is our first fear, the fear of the dark.
Okay, yeah,
And eventually,
yeah.
more manifest, the more society evolves, I guess is an edgy way of phrasing that.
Right, so they keep getting added to depending on, like, where society and technology and it is developing, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
like, once we started to understand mortality, there's another fear called the End began to manifest, which is the fear of death.
Fear of death, yeah.
Spoilers for Season 4. There is a 15th power gradually emerging called the Extinction, which is the fear of climate change and its inevitable destroying of the world.
Oh, fucking hell. This is going to be an idea that I wish I'd had.
Yeah.
Wasn't that last one not actually one? It was one that they were making up to try and control someone into making a bet.
There is evidence the extinction is emerging. It's not moving as fast as Peter Lucas thinks it is. Was what happened. Spoilers for the show again. I believe it was an ambiguous ending of whether it's actually real or not, but it's certainly coming because there are statements about the extinction.
Okay.
It's the fear of being replaced, essentially, of your era ending and being replaced by something else.
Good grief.
Don't have kids.
Don't have kids.
There's no one after you. No one can replace you. Don't teach that intern how to do your job.
Right. We should probably talk about the characters as well, shouldn't we? Because we have got that far in.
Yes.
Yeah, we have spent a lot of time doing the quiz.
I'm much more interested in the world than the characters, to be honest, when it comes to the Magnus Archives, because the world is very intricately crafted. We can't talk about the Magnus Archives without talking about the Magnus Institute, which is where it is set, for the most part. They are a paranormal investigation place. Our story is told by one Jonathan Sims, the head archivist of the Magnus Institute. Yes, Nick, I'm aware he shares the same name as the actor from Life on Mars and The Master.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Ah, okay.
That was a completely straight face that you heard.
Okay. Of course. The format of the show is just him reading a statement from the archive and going through it and going, huh, that was spooky. Probably didn't happen, though. Maybe it's all a coincidence. And then shit starts to happen.
Oh, okay.
And it just sort of goes from there.
I am drawing quite a few parallels to the SCP Foundation.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, which is something I devoured voraciously as a teenager. But yeah, I see.
The author has mentioned, I think SCP was inspiration, but also Bloodborne, the FromSoft game. It's also a very heavy inspiration.
Yeah, I see.
And it
is an eldritch horror game. I mean,
yeah.
show.
And Bloodborne is a game.
Yes.
He's probably going to be our most pivotal character. There was a lot of shipping going on, and there was a ship that eventually bled into canon with him and Martin Blackwood, his intern.
Okay.
I suspect we're going to see a lot. I don't have any pictures to show you guys because it's a show. It's a podcast, so I feel a bit sort of detached, so I can't link pictures to then show you.
That's no excuse. There's pictures of us.
Yeah, well, I also didn't do any homework aside from finding that quiz 5 minutes.
Fair enough.
So Martin is someone you'll have to watch out for. He's a soft boy, and John is kind of the cold, calculating researcher for the most part of the show.
The grizzled sort of...
The grumpy one is soft for the sunshine one, yeah.
Oh, that's a lovely... I love that. That's a lovely dynamic, yeah.
My favourite character the whole way through was the villain. His name is Elias Bouchard, which is such a good name.
100%.
Yep. I accidentally spoiled it for Grace, if I recall, because I was like, "Oh, he's got the proper villain voice." And then Grace was like, "Wait, he's the villain?" And I was like, "Oh shit, she hasn't got that far yet."
Yeah, I remember that.
He just talks evil the whole way through, and you just know, from the moment you're there, it's like, right, villain.
Yeah, this is what we're doing here.
He's sort of this sort of posh British menacing, and I clearly know more than I'm letting on, and of course I can read your mind.
See, all white-collar jobs just sound like that to me if I didn't realise it was evil.
Well, yeah, he's very... How spoilery are we going, Grace?
To be fair, I probably will have forgotten this by the time I get around to listening to the Magnus Archives.
That's true.
So I have so much to play.
How spoilery are we going?
I don't mind. I don't know the next series thingy after it.
I've not listened to any Magnus Protocol yet. There is now a spin-off, by the way, called the Magnus Protocol, which I've not listened to yet. Elias is actually Jonah Magnus, who is the founder of the Magnus Institute and has been alive for centuries, essentially body hopping between people.
Shit, okay.
What he does is he gouges out the eyes of a person, puts his original eyes into that person, and then he controls them.
Wow.
Yeah. So, as you may have guessed, the Magnus Institute is tied to the eye. That is their power. If you worship the entities, they give you gifts. That is one of the things he figured out. Tell a lie, my other actual favourite character, Gertrude Robinson, who I think is Grace's favourite too.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
Oh yeah, as well as the Admiral.
Oh yes, the Admiral. I'll talk about Gertrude first. So Gertrude is the previous head archivist, and we gradually find her tapes as the show goes on, and she was killed under mysterious circumstances, and she is a stone cold badass. I don't really know how else to describe her.
She was essentially the Constantine or the Exorcist of this world. Like, she just went in, did shit, and she kind of knew how it all worked and just sort of did her thing. And even though she worked for the Eye, she didn't really like play by its rules.
She was like 100 years old and more cardigan than woman.
That's wonderful. That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she looks like your nan, but she has more access to explosives than the average old lady.
She can and will fuck you up.
She can and will fuck you up. Most of the powers are afraid of her in various ways, and that's quite cool.
It's funny, they keep bringing her up. They're like, that fucking Gertrude Robinson always ruining the shit. And she's just like, oh no. Not another one she's fucked off.
So, part of the format of the show as we get on, each of these 14 powers want to invade the Earth and control it and manipulate it in their own ways. If any of them manage to get here, reality is just changed to suit their needs. For example, if the slaughter manifested on Earth, everyone would just start killing each other in unimaginable violence.
Oh, so are the powers like characters in their own right?
In a way, like we never speak to them, but they have agency.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, the cults that sort of worship each different power are sort of like trying to run a race essentially against each other to bring about their version of the world.
Exactly.
And that's what leads to interest and conflict and sabotage between them.
Because you may notice some of the powers do contradict one another. For example, let me see.
The Eye and the
Eye and the Unknowing
the...
are diametrically opposed.
Yeah.
The Dark and the Eye are somewhat opposed to each other.
Okay.
The Eye and the Spiral, because the Spiral is all about confusion. The Eye has a lot of enemies. There's, of course, the Vast, which is the fear of heights and the emptiness of space, and the Buried are obviously opposed.
Okay, yeah.
So there are feuds between the 14 powers.
Right, I see.
It's so well thought out. Like,
Very cool, Nick.
like they've done such a good job putting all this together.
Yeah, it sounds it. It does sound like more and more like my jam.
It starts off as just like little spooky stories, and then you start to realise that they're all kind of connected, and like some of the same places keep popping up, and you go, oh fuck, and you start putting the dots together, and before you know it, you got a cork board with red string in your room, and you're like,
trying to figure out
it all makes sense. It's all coming together.
So each power has a ritual that its followers can use to bring that power to Earth, and they have all failed. And the reason they failed for the last century is Gertrude Robinson.
Oh, okay.
Because she will just show up with dynamite or something else that will just undo it. Like the Lonely's ritual was creating a tower block that was deliberately designed to isolate everyone from each other. Like the place was just too... Like the bedroom was just too small for a double bed, for example. And it was like designed to be like the loneliest place. And she undid that by setting up like a campaign. She wrote to the newspapers about this is the loneliest tower block in Britain, and just undid it.
The council came in and refurbished it, presumably.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's not always dynamite she uses to destroy the rituals.
Yeah.
But sometimes it is, and she's great. Love Gertrude. I think that's the main thing I'm looking for from this fandom, is more Gertrude Robinson stories.
Fair enough.
Right, so who else do we need to talk about? It's been a while.
We've got Bashir.
He's not here. That's... Oh, I know who you mean. Does begin with a B. It's not Dr. Bashir. I wish it was. He's a cool dude. Bazira. She was with the... Yes.
And
they
Daisy.
were with the Hunt, I believe.
Yes, the police are often a part of the Hunt.
Grace, you're going to hate this. The police organisation that deals with supernatural horrors is called Section 31. That is a direct nod to Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
It's the Starfleet's secret intelligence unit, Section 31.
I roll.
It's very clear someone's a Trekkie at the Magnus Archives, okay? I just wanted to put that in, just as a nod. Okay. Yeah, Vasira and Daisy, they didn't really get together in the show. I'm one of those nerds who likes to listen to all behind the scenes, and he mentioned there was deliberately like it wasn't meant to be part of their story. He was telling like a very different story with them, so he didn't want to go too hard on shipping them. But it's deliberately ambiguous.
Okay, I see.
So, it's left to the fandom. I'm sure they'll fill in the blanks.
I'm sure they will. It sounds like something that's... it sounds like a fandom that's going to have a lot of fics out there, really.
It was quite high when I briefly checked in. Jürgen Leitner, we might see a bit of. I quite liked him. He writes books, and the books all seem to... Sorry, he collects evil books is kind of his thing. It's been a few years. He has a library, all the books are cursed. Generally a fun guy.
Okay.
Michael's cool. Michael's very edgy. He is bait for fanfic writers. So Michael was
Spiral.
He was Gertrude's assistant originally, and Gertrude sacrificed him to the Spiral, and he merged with the Spiral, and now he hates Gertrude and everyone at the Institute, because who doesn't hate where they used to work?
Well, who doesn't hate where they still work? But there we go.
Exactly. So the Spiral, it is it's sort of a fear of madness and lies and manipulation. And I was reading the wiki earlier to refresh my memory. The Spiral used to manifest as just a door, and then Gertrude sent human Michael, through the door with a map to try and kind of, by making sense of things that don't make sense, it was like a contradiction that would like undo the Spiral.
Oh shit! Okay, so he got to go and map the back rooms.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know where she got the map. Maybe the Eye created it as like a magical artifact that can kind of bind the Spiral. But yeah, she sent him through, and it came back as a living, talking entity. The only living, talking entity in the show. And yeah, he's cool, kind of edgy. Eventually becomes Helen, because someone else walks through that door, and it's a survival of the fittest, I suppose.
One kills the other.
One overpowers the other, I suppose.
One overpowers the other, I see. Yeah, okay.
More like a change of face, like in Doctor Who.
Yeah, okay. I have so much to fucking follow in this.
It's so good. You'd love the Magnus Archives.
Yeah.
At least up until season 5.
Okay, I see.
I've thought about this a lot. I would have I would have ended it a different way. I'll talk about that at the end of the show. I know Grace is sick of hearing me talk about how I would have ended the Magnus Archives.
I've heard it so many times.
But it's so good. Right. Shall we jump into the fix? Maybe I'll see something better of an ending.
Hey, yeah, I reckon
maybe I'll be convinced.
There'll be people out there writing fix-it fix.
I hope so. So I'll tell you what, I'll talk about the ending briefly. Seasons 1 to 4, the format is John reads a statement, occasionally spooky things happen around it.
Okay.
But it's very grounded, it's all about stopping the entities. End of season 4, an entity makes it through.
Oh,
all
okay.
the entities make it through. Because, heavy spoilers for the Magnus Archives. Jonah Magnus has figured out the reason the powers can't get in is because there aren't 14 powers, there's actually one power. It is fear being manifest in different ways.
Interesting twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason...
Fear manifest.
Yeah. For God's sake. And because they're all kept in perfect balance, you can't pull one in without the other one dragging it back.
I see, and that's why one of them can't make through. It's got to be all or nothing.
Yeah, that's why they do fail. Even before Gertrude started blowing up the powers, no one had succeeded in bringing them all in because it's impossible. Unless you bring them all at once.
Okay.
And do a super ritual, which is what he does.
Right, I see.
And then season 5 is post-apocalyptic. The world is fucked. And it's John and Martin wandering through Britain, to fix it.
Right, okay.
And it completely changes the format. John, at this point, has the magical power to just read edgy poetry at people until their heads explode. And it just doesn't work for me.
Like Virgil.
Like Virgil, yeah. Only Virgil summons cool monsters when he does it. Yeah, it doesn't work for me, I'll be honest.
Alright, fair enough.
I personally think they could have handled it better.
Okay, yeah, I see.
But anyway, shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect.
I personally quite like the apocalypse setting. It's just that I feel like the relationship wasn't important.
Yes.
And, took away from the eerie horribleness.
Yeah, also in Season 5, John and Martin are dating now. So the romance had gone from kind of a background shipping thing to, like, fairly central to the show.
Right, I see.
Yeah. I think they should have had the shipping in the season before, and then had the breakup, and then you should have had Johnny Sims being an edgelord in his new world, and then Martin trying to find him to stop him.
Yeah, that could be good.
Not walking with him and like pandering over him. Like it's just like
that's true.
Fucking ridiculous.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point, because Martin's whole story in Season 4 is he's being manipulated by the lonely, which is it's isolation, it's depression, and that kind of thing. And he doesn't want to talk to John. But then by Season 5, he's very much like his emotional core again.
He did just turn into like a 2D love interest.
A little bit, yeah.
Like his whole point was to motivate the main character.
He was the damsel in distress.
He was.
Either way, we didn't like Season 5. Sorry, Rusty Quill and the Magnus Archives team. Loved the rest of it. I'll get around to the Magnus Protocol eventually. Oh, the character we mentioned briefly there, Nick, that we didn't talk about, the Admiral.
Yeah.
That's the cat.
The cat, I see. There's a cat. And he's called the Admiral.
The Admiral's such a good name for a cat.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
That's John's cat, the Admiral.
I don't think it's his cat, it's his ex-girlfriend's
It's
cat.
his ex-girlfriend's cat, but he takes him in. It's his cat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There is a very brief clip of the Admiral purring.
Yes.
He makes it onto the show. God bless him.
Right, let's dive in.
Okay, let's have a look.
Straight out the gate, I have noticed something. Well, I've noticed two things I want to talk about. One is that the second most popular fic also skips the apocalypse, as they call it.
The apocalypse.
Yes, because it is the eye that orchestrates it all.
Yeah.
What I'd like to talk about instead is this one.
Okay.
It's called... There's a 15th Fear and It's Teenagers by Captain Loverboy.
Oh, holy shit.
Aww.
Okay.
What if Jonah didn't ruin everything? Didn't send the end of everything statement? What do John and Martin do now? Get a job, I guess. A teaching job for John, though it's hardly his first pick. But sometimes your boyfriend looks really excited when he suggests it. And I mean, you know literally everything. It can't be that bad, right?
Does it start with teenagers scare the living shit out of me?
It should have done, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely should have done. I was
Why
going to
didn't
say.
you do that? Is that a tag? That should be a tag.
They couldn't care
because
less,
they
as
do.
long as someone will bleed. So I darkened
No
my
base, so
clothes
we-
and
No base, we die like archival assistants.
Oh, they are the red shirts of the universe.
They sure are.
I see.
The ships are John and Martin, Georgie and Melanie.
Georgie and Melanie were also assistants.
Sarah and Daisy. Yes, they were. Helen is here, the distortion. Not shipped with anyone, though. The cowards.
I like how one of the characters is original statement giver.
Oh.
So somebody's done an OC, and yeah.
It's someone who came in to give a statement.
Yes.
I should probably explain John and his powers, because as the head archivist, he is an avatar of the Eye.
Okay.
So, if he asks you a question, you have to answer it truthfully.
Oh, that's a good one.
And sometimes he just knows things and he doesn't know why. Just the knowledge just appears in his head.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. That's freaky in all the best ways.
He starts to the more statements he reads, the more he is becoming conditioned into the role without realizing it. To the point, once he starts reading a statement, he can't stop.
He gets addicted to statements.
Yeah, he does.
Has withdrawal symptoms if he goes a while without one.
Like me without my yaoi fiction at the end of the night.
Like Grace without her bedtime
yaoi.
Yeah, bedtime
yaoi.
Also, if you try and resist him getting your life story out of you, he can make your head explode.
I see.
That's a late game power. That's a level 10.
That's a late game power, yeah. That's what I mean by him reading goth poetry at you so hard your head explodes. He does that to a few people.
Okay, right, I see.
I wasn't kidding. Right, let's see what else we got.
I'm going to take a walk down Crack Treated Seriously Lane, I think.
That's probably a sensible place to be. Okay, I get to talk about my job briefly and explain something annoying, because this
don't
author...
work for the fucking Magnus Archives.
I don't. I didn't say I did. This is Beholding the GDPR, how the Magnus Institute updated its privacy policy for the 21st century and only caused one nervous breakdown in the process, by Shiny Opals. GDPR is a bitch of a law.
Oh, it is. Like, we have to do
good,
training.
Nick, you get it too.
Yeah, we have to do training every year on GDPR. It's an absolute pain.
What is it?
It's a European guideline about how long you can retain data about an individual for.
And what data you can retain. And how you must retain it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And how it can be destroyed. How it has to be destroyed at a certain amount. I can see why this would bother the Magnus Archive. Because you'd have to get rid of the data from time to time. Oh.
Which they won't do because they're information hoarders.
Well, I imagine the Magnus Institute are probably immune to the EU raids that were threatened with the new legislation, because they've got Eldritch Horror on their side.
Oh. Now with voiceover by Alistair Stewart / Peter Lucas himself.
Yeah, Alistair Stewart voiced Peter, who is the central character of this story.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So, bit of an angsty story. I might cut this. I found, listening to Season 4, that I was relating to Peter Lucas quite a lot. I don't know if Grace remembers this or not. But I talked to you about this, and I was like, yeah, Peter, interesting character. Find that fascinating. And Grace was like, what you on about? And then I listened to it behind the scenes, and it was like, Peter Lucas is meant to represent depression. And I was like,
oh!
Shit. That's what's going on with me.
Oh, no.
Somewhat relate. So the character of Peter Lucas, special place in my heart, but not anymore. Moved on from that time.
Oh, thank you.
It helped me figure some shit out, let's say.
Oh, like all good media does.
Exactly.
Well, like all good thought-provoking media does anyway, you know.
In a much better place now, but thanks Magnus Archive for helping me figure that one out by showing me the most miserable character there and making me relate to them.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. That was like late 2019, early 2020.
Oh, it happens. Yeah, it happens.
Right when I got help and got on the pills.
Yes. Oh dear. Okay.
But yeah. No, this looks good. It's written through it's an email chain.
Yeah, I did like how it was laid out.
Just chatting about GDPR. Elias, ignoring your phone is extremely childish, Peter. I know you can hear it ringing. Elias has written up GDPR guidelines. And they've hired a data protection officer. Oh no. That poor man.
Okay, let's...
Okay, yeah, that looks interesting.
Yeah.
There's more to it than GDPR. Like, it looks like there's a story building in it.
I wouldn't mind reading this once I've sort of immersed myself in it.
Listen to the Magnus Archives.
Yeah.
It's good.
when I get chance. I tell you what, I have so much in my backlog right now. There's
the good thing about Magnus is it's a podcast. You can just put it on at work.
I can listen.
Oh no,
to...
you can't because you need to be alert for the phones.
I can listen to it in the car.
In the car. I'll have to explain that joke again one day.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, but not today.
No, not today.
I want to find...
Like the details in the Magnus Archives, it will always be a mystery.
Well, I don't know, they explain the law pretty well.
Okay.
I want to look for fics involving Helen, because we love us a monster fucker.
Is she a monster fucker?
No,
She's a monster.
she looks like a normal person, though.
Well, we can look for Michael as well, if it helps. I never imagined her as looking that
I
normal,
thought
to be
Daisy would have
honest.
been the monster, because she turns into a literal fucking werewolf.
Well, yeah, but that's less what I'm into.
Oh, for love of... Why are you like this?
You could look for Daisy if you want to.
I don't want to look for Daisy.
Well, there you go. You don't have to. But, well, for one thing, Helen has a lovely voice. And two, I always imagined her very Eldritch Horror.
Do you remember the living doll?
Oh god, I do. What?
Nicola
Rosanov, yes. Yeah, that's monster fucky waiting
Scary.
to happen. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Less
I don't
sexy
think you're
voice.
supposed to find any of this sexy, to be honest.
Well, why did they cast Elias like they did?
It sometimes comes from the most unlikely places.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Also, that's not even just me, because, as I say, I'm a nerd who listens to behind-the-scenes stuff, and there's just this bit of John going, Elias and that bloody sexy voice ruining things.
Oh dear.
I can see if I can find you some of the voice as an example, Nick, if you like.
I tell you what, I will listen on my own time when I find the time. I mean, to be fair, I am going to, in November, I'm going on training again for a couple of days, which means I've got 2 nights in a hotel doing nothing. And if I don't take my writing with me, then yeah, I'll go do it.
So I just went straight to YouTube. There's a clip of the bloke who voices Elias saying, "I want another divorce." That was apparently like a charity thing.
Okay, I see.
As an aside, so the guy who voices Elias and his brother do a comedy podcast through the same publishing group. Completely different characters, a lot funnier.
Okay.
And the guy who does all this, the villain voice like that, he goes all whiny like this for that show, and it sort of just takes me out of it every time.
Oh, man's got range then.
Man's got range.
Yeah. I can share something here because I found a thing. Right. So there's a cat in the archives by...
Yes.
I just saw that, actually.
Yeah, by Light Source Quadruple 9.
Mm-hmm.
The summary is Jonathan Sims is promoted to the position of head archivist of the Magnus Institute, but he has a secret he has to keep at all costs. No one can find out he's a cat.
Oh, no.
And it's, I mean, the notes say this fic started as a way for me to cope with my maladaptive daydreaming tendencies. And it's grown into a wonderful project. It fucking has. It's 35 chapters, it's not finished yet, and it's 95,000 words. It's a novel. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It is a novel, and it's not finished yet.
So,
how have they not noticed he's a cat?
are you familiar with Octodad?
Very vaguely. Again, I know it exists.
Okay. Octodad is a video game where you play as an octopus who is masquerading as a human, and it's him trying to blend in. The trouble is you have eight tentacles
arms
instead of arms and legs, and it's you just trying to do normal human chores without it looking weird, even though you control bizarrely. I'm wondering if this fic is like that. It's like you're a cat, you're wearing a suit, you're just doing your best to blend in. It's not working.
Maybe he's like, 8 or 10 cats stacked on top of each other in a trench coat.
Is that he's in the mirror, he's got a bandana on to hide his ears, and he's got a skirt.
A skirt?
Yeah, probably to hide all the legs.
Hide the tail, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Wow. I do wonder if it.
Chapter 1, there's a dog in the institute, and he's just trying to kind of be calm.
Oh no.
Oh, of all the possible animals, the dog was the worst one.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, apparently, one of the tags is John wins people over with the irresistible charm of being a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John is very cat-like. He's kind of like aloof and sulky.
Yeah. So there's a chapter called What to Do About Gertrude. I'm wondering if Gertrude is still alive. Oh no, she's not. Never mind. Fuck that.
Maybe,
I was wrong. I opened it and skimmed to the middle of the page and it says, she had been shot. Okay. No, Gertrude's dead.
Well, people sometimes survive being shot.
Yeah.
Gertrude doesn't.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Not in the show, anyway.
Yeah.
But no, that looks very cute.
It does. Yeah, I need these authors' secrets. Because I am...
What I've been learning, the secret is find a really sad horror show and just remove the characters from it and put them in something wholesome.
I see.
And that's it.
And that's
a great thing.
That's your key to 100,000 words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also smart.
Nick, what were you going to say?
I could do to sort of like know the secrets to prolificness. Because sort of like, 4 or 5 hours has got me 3,000 words so far. So,
it's keep going, I think.
Yes, I think you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told by people, right, utter bollocks, don't make it neat, and then go back on it later another day.
Yes, yeah, that as
Hello,
well.
cat, get off the keyboard. Come on.
Speaking of which, speaking of entities beyond this mortal plane.
Pepper.
Yeah, hello, Pepper. Oh, she's been out in the rain.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, she's purring about it.
Or she's just wet.
What?
I might not be right. She may. That's the thing with pets, isn't it? It's mystery wet.
No, it's raining
Mystery
outside.
wet.
She's wet all over
Okay, it's
because she's been
probably
out in the
rain then.
rain. And she's
Probably
purring about it.
Oh.
Because she's drying herself off on me. Fucking dick.
Okay, what's the distortion?
I think that's another name for the spiral.
It is.
Yes.
That's usually the one Michael's a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
I should add a lot of the powers have different names, and a lot of the names are really cool. I will talk about those at some point, but go ahead.
Yeah, I did see a tag. I think it was like something like Michael / the Distortion.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I'd call myself if I was a lead guitarist in a punk band. You know, the Distortion.
Mike, I thought you meant Slash as your middle name as well. In honor of, oh god, what band was Slash in? I can't remember.
Guns N' Roses, Jim.
In honor of the Guns N' Roses guitarist, you are Michael / the Distortion.
I was just going to call myself the Distortion. Like, if that bloke from U2 can call himself the Edge, you know.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
true. Just because I've got it on the wiki page, the alternate names for the eye are also Beholding, the Ceaseless Watcher, and It Knows You.
It Knows You.
It Knows You. And for the spiral, it's Distortion's not listed here. You got the spiral, the Twisting Deceit, Es Mentiras, which is Latin for It Is Lies.
Okay.
And It Is Not What It Is.
It is not what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, so one of the phrases that me and my co-workers say to each other is, "It is what it is." So
well,
this is not what it is.
It's not what it is.
It's not what it is.
Well,
Something
now
is
you
wrong.
know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something is other to the drudgery we go through in our day-to-day work lives. But there we go.
One more brief aside about the powers. I forgot there's one called the Stranger.
Okay. Is that what you
Nick,
sit on your hand?
Yeah. So I was going with that.
Oh, shut up.
Tracy, you familiar with the Stranger?
Fucking hell.
The Stranger is essentially like a changeling. Only one person will know that this person's been switched. And you'll look through photo albums and stuff, and it's their face on everything, and you're like...
it's really cool.
It is quite a good one. It's a fucking creepy one.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But The alternative thing for the stranger is also if you sleep with your arm, so you give yourself a dead arm, and then you give yourself a wank later, then that is historically what is referred to as a stranger.
The stranger, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
You really do bring down the tone.
I just thought I'd mention what the stranger also is.
On this podcast...
And Nick thought it as well. It's not me. I'm not dragging this down. You're dragging it up.
Yeah, on this podcast, it's not a very high bar to clear, to be fair, so... Right, in that case, I'm going to post the second catfic of the night.
Good.
Yeah, this is Catastrophe by I'm tired _ like really tired. Yep, another feeling. The summary is, I gave the distortion a cat. That's it. That's the fic.
Oh.
It means Helen's been replaced by a cat, surely.
No, Helen has the cat.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that would fix Helen. Get
Well,
her a cat.
Well, spoiler alert, in the additional tags, there's apocalypse averted. So...
Oh, good. Yeah. Good for Helen.
yeah, there you go.
Let's have a quick read of this. Oh, it's orange. No wonder this helps.
It is an orange cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wait, how long is this?
Okay. It's only like 3 chapters, about just over 2,000 words. So yeah.
I've just noticed chapter 3 is called Helen Has Made a Mistake. Apology video coming soon.
Oh.
I quite like the idea of Helen having to do a YouTube apology.
Oh dear. It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, Helen is talking to the cat. Yeah, what?
Yeah, that sounds like something she'd do.
What does go on in your mind? I may never know. Oh, are we doing something new today, little creature? That's what you... Yeah, that's what you talk to cats like that.
What the fuck do you want now? Alright,
You
The thing
see?
is, though, all she's got is doors. Can you imagine how many
Oh,
doors
no.
she's got to open and close to let that fucking cat in and out again? Do you want to go in? Do you
Yeah.
want to stay out? And the person who's horrified because they've been roached on someone's bedroom is just looking with horror like, oh my
Yeah.
fucking god.
So the spiral's
Eldritch Horror's
maze can
got
like
cats.
manifest through any door. So you could open your front door and suddenly you're in a different place. That's the spiral fucking with you. And
Oh, fingers crossed.
it's like an eldritch horror taxi.
An eldritch horror taxi. I like that.
Kind of. In that she can just drop you off somewhere else by connecting doors. Or she could just ruin your day. That's... A lot of that could happen.
Spend your day wandering through corridors forever.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The Buried is quite a
And,
sinister one. I quite like that one.
Oh yeah, it's very unsettled
different.
me. But yeah, a cat in the in the spiral would just be like wanting to open every door
And just sit on the threshold.
and just sit at the threshold. Oh, it would truly drive her mad.
Neither going in nor going out.
Mm-hmm.
What is it to be, little orange one? What do you want?
I should add, there is a bit in... So Gertrude Robinson's origin story is that the desolation killed her cat.
Yeah.
And then she spent the next century destroying Eldritch Horror's plans and just ruining them.
Oh, wow.
She very much old lady John Wick, and love her for that.
I'll tell you what, I'm finding some really odd stuff which I don't think I need to listen to the podcast to get the appeal of.
Okay.
And I know this is sort of very me heavy. I've had 3 in a row so far, but
That's fine.
this is The Sharktivist is In by Artificial Daydreams.
Excuse me.
This is basically, what if John had one of those like plushy sharks that you get from IKEA?
Oh, Blahaj.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know if I'm
What?
pronouncing that right.
Yeah, I've seen them before. Like, you can go to IKEA and you
Yeah,
can just buy a big plushy shark, I guess.
Yeah, Katie's got a Blahaj.
The
Fucking
shark,
ridiculous.
the shark was sitting in his desk chair when John opened his office door, actually sitting in it with a "Hello, my name is" sticker stuck to it with Jonathan Swims, head sharktivist, written on it in black marker.
Perfect. So, Grace, this is a Blahaj.
Let's have a look at the Blahaj.
I'm posting it in the Discord.
Don't do it in Smash or Pass.
Nope.
Oh.
You can get them from IKEA. That they are 1 meter long.
Yeah, you can. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can get them in.
£590. I think the fuck
I don't think that's quid. That's a different currency. That's in the Philippines, so it's probably a lot less.
Yeah, you can get them in varying sizes. I think you can buy like a tiny one, and it's right the way up to, the meter long one.
Yep.
I'm guessing the meter long one is about £40 or £30.
Probably,
1
yeah.
meter 40, apparently. Is the biggest
Still
one.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot for a toy shark, people.
Oh, but look at them.
I don't know. I'd like a Blahaj. Sharks are cool.
I
I
could
do
go
like
for a
sharks.
Have you seen the bear?
I'd rather make my own.
I haven't seen the bear.
It's Dungelgog or something like that. Let me find him. He's big.
In fact,
there's a whale now too.
It's exactly.
Lavingard.
Oh yeah, I'd like a whale. It's this shit like this is exactly the reason why I have a big T-Rex in my living room.
Wait, what?
I'm sure I told you about that.
I've not been to your house in a while.
Okay, I thought I sent you pictures.
How big are we talking?
So it's like it's about the size of a cat, maybe a bit smaller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I was imagining big.
No, I did.
Life size.
I did see like a screen accurate Velociraptor from Jurassic Park on Facebook Marketplace, but the guy wanted like £1,500.
Well, you would for a screen accurate one.
Well, it was like screen accurate size, maybe a little bit less detail, but I'm like, that'd be really cool in the garden. Oh, the bear's lovely. Can you sleep on that?
I've also linked the bear. Yeah, it's a meter long.
Oh, you can. He's a big lad. Look at that.
It's a big lad for £25. Dungelgog.
Yeah.
Or however you pronounce that. I'm not. Apologies to the Swedes.
Jungle Skog, maybe. Something like that.
They're big.
Yeah, he's a big lad.
Very tempted.
But yeah, I thought I told you about the T-Rex in my living room.
I can't remember. You may have done.
Yeah, I think I probably did.
You tell me a lot of dinosaur-related things lately.
I
just
do.
Sort of blurs in.
Yes, I do.
Oh, there's
right.
fan art of the Sharkivist.
Oh, brilliant. Hang on. Let me go back
It's at
on the thing. And spool down to the bottom.
Yes. Jonathan Swims, head Sharkivist.
Fan art. Let's have a look.
That's very cute.
Brilliant.
Big fan.
I like the totally useless spectacles on the end of his nose.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to post this just for some of the names involved.
Oh, apparently, before we move on to that, Blahaj just means blue shark.
Oh,
in case you were wondering.
Good to know.
So Jungle Skog must mean like brown bear or something like that.
Big bear.
Yeah, big bear or brown bear, something like that. So Jerry, please stop dueling.
Please
in the
stop
archives.
dueling. Dueling with a J, not duel as in I challenge you. Please stop dueling in the archives by three fuckers try to write, which we may have to adapt as our spin-off show as we help Nick with his writing.
Three fuckers try to podcast.
May I suggest fuckwits?
Yes.
Yeah. Legally distinct. Love it.
Legally distinct, more descriptive.
So we have notable tags here include Sasha James / Happiness.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Martin and Tim, also Martin and John, the Archivist and Tim, so it's a poly thing going on. Gerard Key with Michael the Distortion. Nick, I noticed your girlfriend has just said, "Oh my god," in the chat in response to the bear.
Oh shit.
Or possibly the shark. Sorry, Nick, your bank balance is going down because of me.
Right,
On the other hand, Christmas is sorted.
Yes,
right, I
true.
guess actually it is Sophie's birthday coming up soon, so thank you for showing me Blahaj. I may be going to IKEA.
Problem solved. Get me a Dungelgog. Right, so tags here. Cannon has been taken out back and shot.
Oh.
Slow burn, poly, canon typical worm, non-canon typical worm on string. No beta, we kayak like Tim. Tim dies, spoilers.
Tim.
Oh, Tim was cool. Let's see. Multiple authors. Angst with a happy ending. What was it?
I like how one of them was, have we listened to the Magnus Archives? It's debatable.
I hope so. I hope not, to be honest.
Yeah.
It could be wild. The one that stood out, that sold me on this was, they have the avatars of a group chat and have cancelled Eli Ass Bitchard.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Still simp for Elias, though. Disaster by Tim. 3 fuckers try to write a fic. This is part 1 of a series called Gays, Please Stop Being Useless in the Archives.
Hang on a minute. You missed the Magnus Archives, but Martin thinks it's a rom-com and everyone else thinks it's a horror.
You know what? That's just a description of the Magnus Archives. That doesn't even need to be a tag. Martin clearly thinks it's a rom-com.
I see.
And it worked for him.
Until he got lonely.
Okay, this looks good. Wait. Someone's name in this group chat is called The Clown Fucks Lads.
The Clown Fucks Lads.
Yep. There's number 1 ship fucker, which I believe is Peter. Yeah, this is just all the avatars by the looks of things.
Right, I see.
Yeah, so there's 2 group chats going. One is the actual people working in the archive, but also the Eldritch Horrors.
Yeah, one's called Fuck Hands McMike.
Oh god, who's Fuck Hands McMike?
But it's in the Eldritch font.
Oh, it'll be Michael, won't it? Yeah, it's Michael. Of course.
I see.
He's got fucked up hands. Also, Helen's here too, called Bastard Hour Give Helen a Song.
I see.
No thoughts, only worm. Nice.
Oh god, like one of the chats does that whole Discord thing where they have little descriptions in brackets in your username.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll be each power. So, there's a 3rd group chat, which is the actual avatars themselves. Cool. That's getting a little bit confusing, but it looks good.
Fucking yearning on main. Timothy Stoker set his nickname to Tim Stonker. Brilliant.
Good. That sounds like Tim. Tim is the one who picks up the tape and goes, "You're listening to Spooky FM."
Oh,
that's my favourite contribution of his to the show.
I see.
He is very briefly the comic relief, and then the hardest man in the show.
Oh, brilliant.
Big fan
Okay.
of Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starts off comedy, turns out it's got a tragic backstory. Spoilers, goes out with a bang.
Mm.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Good on you, Tim.
Goes out with a bang.
He sure does.
Fucking hell. Either way.
What?
I know, just
Where's
fine
the
for
lie?
not spoiling it for Nick. I know, it was just so on the nose.
Yeah. Fine. Well, let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, Grace, you posted something.
Yeah, I just like, all amongst all the really random stuff, this was random in its way that it was incredibly fluffy. And it's called Courgette Adagio and by Brer Fairchild. And it's basically just them enjoying gardening.
Oh, nice.
Like Martin and John, they're just in the garden being domestic and married and talking about fucking vegetables and like there's no sex in it or anything. It's just look, I've got courgettes. Oh wow, they're really cool. Like it's just so jarring that it's like coming out of like a massive horror thing. I don't think they even mention it.
So this author is aromantic, that's why romance is all they can write, according to the notes.
Ah.
Which is why it's pure fluff, no pounding. And
Pure
that's good.
All fluff, no pounding.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And no horror, which is probably good for John and Martin. So
It's like a little sanctuary, isn't it? This
I'll
thing?
add a little addendum to what we were saying about the romance in the Magnus Archives at the start. While it definitely felt too involved in season 5, the bits we had in season 4 of them living in a cottage in Scotland together was very nice, and I think that would have been like a good ending to the romance, you know?
Okay, I see.
When they go out and look at cows and things like that. It's very wholesome.
They finally have a nice time.
They do very briefly
Yeah.
have a nice time.
Very briefly, I see.
It is a horror show. Temper your expectations for happy endings.
Yeah. Okay.
What was the quote, Grace, with the all cows are good?
All cows are good cows.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It's very nice.
All cows are good cows. Yeah.
I agree.
We're good at being a cow.
But let's see what else there is.
Bear off my screen.
Bring the bear back. Oh, that's a fantastic name. I don't know if they're referring to John or Elias here. No, it is John. I've just seen the tag Eyeball Daddy in all caps.
Eyeball Daddy.
Oh my
Eyeball Daddy. Oh no, Elias is in this. It could be either of them because they both are kind of eyeball daddies. Let's find out.
My money's on Elias.
Yeah,
I think he's the eyeball.
He is
daddy.
more daddy than John. This is Class 108's Apocalypse Field Trip by Ticking Clock Heart. The ships are Martin and John, and 2 original female characters. So we have John, Martin, Elias, Helen, original characters, students, and Jude Perry. Spoilers for...
The optician will always tell you there's a dominant arm.
There is, and it's Elias.
Just so...
The eyeball daddy.
It's how I will refer to it next time I go to the optician.
This is by...
So which one's the
this is by
daddy?
Elias.
What?
Class 108 was...
Bronchial Bouchard.
So, Class 108 was prepared for a lot of things, but lockdown drills didn't cover the apocalypse. With over half their class dead and little hope left, Class 108 resigns themselves to a life under Eyeball Daddy's watchful gaze.
Oh dear.
It's Elias then. That is, until their resident cryptid English teacher, Jonathan Sims, comes bursting through the door.
Is this like an episode of Evil Headmaster or something?
The Demon Headmaster was scary.
Yeah, it was. The eyes.
For non-Brits, the Demon Headmaster was a show on CBBC, but in no way did that make it appropriate for kids. That was nightmare fuel.
I never saw it.
Oh, it was so good. The headmaster had the power of hypnosis, and his plan was to rule the world by hypnotizing people.
Yes.
And he was very creepy.
Yeah, I think the first... Because it was a book as well, and I remember reading the books rather than watching the TV series. Yeah.
Well, I've read one of the books. I read the book about him having a TV show with a pig mask, and he was using it to hypnotize everyone.
Yes. Yeah, there was that.
Oh.
Oh.
He's a bit like Elias, I suppose.
I mean...
Let me find you a picture, Grace.
This is interesting. I like how Jonathan Sims is described as a cryptid.
He is. He is a cryptid.
Yeah, but like I've encountered people like that before in workplaces who they achieve this like legendary status because they've been there since the year dot. The building was built up around them. They know everything there is to know. They're a little bit weird, you know.
I mean, in this case, he does literally know all there is to know.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's he has the power of the eye, but yeah.
So, Grace, here's a picture of the Demon Headmaster. And, Nick, I have bad news.
It's going in Smash or Pass, isn't it?
No, there was a reboot in 2019.
Oh, it's going to be terrible.
It probably was. They only made 1 season. I'm going to assume it wasn't very good, but that's just my prejudice.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm an adult now, but the guy they cast doesn't look nearly as intimidating as the Demon Headmaster did in the 90s.
He probably doesn't. Have you got a picture of the other guy? I want to kind of compare and contrast.
There we go. So here's the new guy. Here we go.
Yeah, the second one just looks like a tech bro.
Yeah.
He does. He looks...
Maybe he is.
He looks a little bit like a wizened Rory Williams.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
I think the colours of his complexion are too warm, while the other guy is like in blues, which make him a lot more
the other guy is
looking.
satanic looking.
Yeah.
Like, he puts the demon in Demon Headmaster.
And
he's wearing, like, the classic Soviet suit here that makes him look especially dictatorial.
Yeah, it's just like Dr. Evil.
Yes. Yeah. And he gave it his all in that, if I remember correctly.
No, that man gave 110% to that villain portrayal.
He understood the brief, 100%, yeah. To traumatise and terrify kids.
I love a man who's into his work.
I think I'm going back to watch the Demon Headmaster when we're done.
Yep, fair enough.
It's probably all on YouTube at this point.
Yeah, it is quite an old 1990s, if memory serves me correctly.
96.
96. So yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, okay. That's my plan for this evening. But yes, Eyeball Daddy is clearly Elias Bouchard.
Yeah.
Case closed.
Oh boy. Wait, what?
Go on.
This world could have adult content. Okay. I have found something called Send Dunes.
The book?
As in send nudes, but send dunes.
As in the book that's being adapted into a film, Dunes?
Was it written by The Destruction?
No, like here it is. This is Send Dunes by Flicker Likes Glitter. The summary is, this is dumb. This is Oliver Banks and Michael Crew, if that means anything to you.
Michael Crew was the Vast, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oliver Banks, I can't remember.
Have you got the wiki up?
Yeah, I'm having a quick nosy.
Well, while you're having a nosy, this is not safe for work, but there is talk of nudes, asking for nudes, help me, and I don't write NSFW. This is probably about the closest you'll get, and it's 263 words.
Oliver Banks was the avatar of the End, which is death.
Okay, I see.
He doesn't come up very often, but his power is he kills people.
Right, I see.
they just fucking die. Or worse, they see their death.
Okay, so by the sounds of things, Mike gets a hold of Oliver's number. He basically spams him with things like send nudes or good morning, good morning to you too, Mike, that sort of thing. Then he sends send dunes instead of accidents.
Oh no.
Oliver left him on red, and then he takes a selfie of himself at the airport, and he basically gets a nude of Oliver completely naked in the desert.
Got some dunes for you.
And that's got some dudes for you,
brilliant.
XOXO.
Smooth.
So
if I was immortal, I'd probably do that too.
Yeah, immortal, rich, have your own private plane that can land on sand, whatever. Yeah.
I think he's just immortal, to be honest. I don't think he's that rich.
Oh boy.
Good use of your time, though, if you're undying.
Yes, 100%.
I like that despite different teams and career paths, they still make time for each other despite not really knowing each other.
I don't think they ever interact in the show. I could be wrong, but I always got the impression there's kind of drama beyond what we're seeing of like all the different avatars like having their own beefs with each other.
Yeah, I tell you what, for a minute I thought Oliver Banks was, I think it's Simon Fairchild.
Ooh.
Who's the creepy old man who's like, think of sky blue, jumps out of a fucking ski lift, and everyone's like, ah!
I'm surprised we're not seeing them be shipped, to be honest.
Well, he's maybe.
So there's one that really stuck with me. It sounds like it did with Grace as well. The Vast's avatar he's like 100 years old. He looks 100 years old, and he takes someone skydiving with him, and he just goes, "Enjoy sky blue," jumps out of the plane. The other guy jumps out of the plane, and he just keeps falling forever.
And there's nothing.
Yeah, because the Vast's power is like spatial manipulation and like making you just fall forever.
Oh god, so he will forever plummet towards the earth in...
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
I think eventually he drops the guy off somewhere, but it's the longest skydive ever. Let's go with that.
Yeah, after...
I don't think the Earth is even in sight. Like, it's the vastness of being surrounded by... Like, you're so insignificant and there's nothing around you.
Sky all the way.
Sky blue.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, Fairchild, he's quite a charismatic man. He doesn't give a fuck. He's immortal.
I like
right? It's like, I really like roller coasters, you know? There's something really good about them, and he's just like that kind of guy.
Yeah,
and
I was
like,
a fan.
All right.
He's fun.
He sounds it.
He's...
Yeah, the Vast... They don't really give much fucks to the Vast's people. barely involved, to be honest. I don't think they have much in the way of rituals beyond just kind of watching things happen. Like, they just by their nature of being the vastness of the cosmos, I think they're fine with everything.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't really get involved that much. They don't really need to. It's like, we've got so much time, like, we can just wait this out.
They understand that Earth is insignificant in the grand scheme of the universe, and will eventually just wait it out, I guess. Much like the end. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've listened. Maybe I'll go back.
Probably why these two get along in this fic.
So this one is called Solitaire by Yellow Caballero. Caballero, thank you. The tag that stood out to me was, John is a cat boy and I swear I can explain.
Oh, again?
But, yeah, but this time they can explain.
This is twice John has been a cat boy.
We've also got John Martin, except instead of flirting, they try to stab each other.
It was just, hang on, one of the additional tags is non-sexual knife play, in which case, what's the point?
Stabbing each other,
I suppose,
guess.
But yeah.
And you're...
That'll be at the end of the handle.
You're not immune to murder sexual.
I see.
I want the explanation for why he's a cat boy. That's all I'm here for.
Yeah, I'd like to...
Like...
Yeah.
I want someone to try and justify what they clearly just wanted to do. It's like Hideo Kojima and the whole, we put her in a bikini because she breathed through her skin. Don't judge the story if you don't understand it truly. It's like, bro, you just wanted to put her in that.
Yeah,
you don't have to tell us.
You don't have to justify. It's like she's in a bikini. Yeah. It's
Justifying
your world.
It made it worse, if anything.
Yeah, you've drawn attention to it now.
You didn't have to create a character that breathes through her skin.
Exactly. It was so, like, just the author's fetish.
Yeah.
In fact, that wasn't even a fetish. It's just an attractive woman not wearing much, which I don't think counts as a fetish. But anyway, let's find out why they're a cat. I think he got involved in the kitty gang wars, Georgie said.
The kitty gang wars?
I try not to be an overbearing mother and let him have his own life. It works out well for me. I use his connections as an information network to find my own books. You can talk to cats, Melanie said. How to communicate with your feline as a barker, Georgie said.
Oh my god. This... It was just a cat, long-haired and grey, with a slightly squashed face and an impudent expression. It really was just a cute grey Persian. The weirdest thing about him was his unnaturally green eyes. He doesn't look evil, Melanie said dubiously. He's not evil, he just goes into a dissociative state and commits atrocities, Georgie said.
Yeah, that's cats. I also know where that's from.
I see.
So how does John become a cat boy?
I mean, if he can sort of get a statement out of anything and understand any language...
Do you reckon he can get a statement out of a cat?
Maybe. It's never really gone into, but, like, you know, animals have their own fear.
They do, yeah. Yeah, that one's... I can't find where he becomes a cat boy. Maybe he's always has been.
I mean, just own up.
Yeah.
If you want to write about cat boys, that's fine.
If you like cat boys, good for you.
Yeah.
Why not write in and tell us about why you like cat boys?
Right then. I have a question here.
Oh no.
So, what do you reckon makes or breaks somewhere as a tourist attraction?
The weather, honestly.
Yeah, but like, what do you do before going somewhere? Do you just go, or do you, maybe do some research first?
Yeah, I check that there's some nice museums, if there's decent food places.
Yeah, but specifically a museum. What would be the make or break factor?
No exhibits?
No gift shop.
Okay, I can sort of like see where you're going. However,
okay.
Each sort of successful tourist attraction has good Yelp reviews.
Yes.
Good point. I found this for the Magnus Institute.
The Magnus Institute Yelp page?
Yes. by the Vampire Crow.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, this is the Magnus Institute's help page. But there you go.
Oh, Sandy Ocelot, Canterbury, England. Go on. An experience that can only be described as supernatural. Oh, for
Tim
fuck's
Stoker,
sake.
5 stars. Can anyone tell me when the Institute's Christmas party is? Also, do I bring snacks? Elias's reply. Tim, what have I said to you about asking questions in the review section of our official website? I can't read today. You know about not using unorthodox ways of communication to speak to us. This is not a toy. Also, I must inform you that many of our employees do not celebrate Christmas, as it is a general winter-themed party. Yes, bring snacks. They do not come out of our institute's budget. Beautiful.
What? 1-star review.
Yeah.
He wants to kill me. That man in the archives wants to kill me. He stares at me from his chair in his desk with that hungry look in his eyes. Says, "Wants to kill me." The man is dangerous. He does not speak to him. You want to make eye contact with this man. He stares into your soul and borrows into your heart and takes what he wants to take.
And the reply.
Do not look at
Tim,
that.
if this is you, I've already lectured you on on use of review pages on Yelp. This is not a practical joke.
This isn't me, boss. That's not my profile. Genuine Yelp review.
I like that Elias is concerned about he's concerned about ratings bringing them down.
Yes.
Oh, Michael Distortion, 5-star review.
Okay.
Archivist, please open the door. Let me in. I'm waiting. Archivist, why do you run? Just open the door. I'll let you in. I promise, Archivist. Leave us alone.
Michael Distortion, brackets, not real. Time does not exist. Archivist. Oh, these are good.
Yeah, they are.
Hang on. 5-star review. Ants.
Ants. Does it
5
just say
star.
ants?
Time does not work here. Want ants? Only $3.99 for 100 of them. Meet us at the bridge. Any bridge. We will give them to you. Warning, we are not responsible for any of the following. Lost limbs, severe muscle fatigue, constant lethargic brain fog, burrowing meat ants. They're bred that way. Or death.
They are part of you now. That you must sustain them.
There's a bug-themed one, Nick, incidentally.
Is there?
Yeah, the hive infestation.
Hive.
Yeah.
It's all about things like rotting and getting into you and
Yes.
changing.
The corruption is what it's called.
That's it. That's it.
So like little bit of body horror, you know, like that bit in is it
A
the
lot.
Mummy where that guy gets eaten alive by scarabs and you can hear him,
Yes.
you can see them under the skin.
That
Yes.
is in The Mummy. Fantastic film.
I see.
So the thing that really
that's
unsettled
like
me
that.
about the corruption is its victims often find a sense of love from being embalmed by the hive.
Oh,
Ma petite scarabée.
Yeah, there's one story about this person. He's talking about his new girlfriend that he's talking about her at work, but no one's ever met. And then they go home. It's just a swarm that he just sort of enters and just covers him in bugs.
oh,
Yeah, it's a beetle and it's her
Yeah.
children.
good grief! This is
Yeah.
He gets sacked for poor hygiene because all his beetles are on
Yeah.
him and shit, and he's turning into like a hive.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I wish I'd thought of this.
I know, right?
Yeah, I wish I'd had this idea.
Unlucky. Well, there's 200 episodes and more now that have got a spin-off. Get in on that.
Oh, good grief!
On lighter notes, this is Untitled Spiral Game by Sheila688.
Yes.
It's a
Oh,
lovely day out there somewhere, and you are a horrible avatar. This is Helen just going outside.
Excellent, and probably like fucking with somebody.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's what they do. Specifically, fucking with Alice, or Daisy, as she is often known. The relationships is Helen and people who maybe aren't all friends yet, but they're getting there. I was starting to wonder if maybe she doesn't ruin people's day. Maybe she just makes people make friends.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Body horror in brackets mild plus spiral typical.
Yeah, she does that. Oh, Grace, I found your account.
Okay.
What?
So this?
I don't have an account.
Well, yeah, because it's an orphan. This fic is by orphaned account, but I reckon you wrote this. This is friendship ended with worms. Now centipedes are my best friend.
Au contraire, I was never friends with worms.
Fair enough. Touche. What's this fic even about? I just saw that it was friends with centipedes. I was like, Grace.
Oh.
I heard you like centipedes.
Ha ha ha. I like that one Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Discussion of self-mutilations inspired by the book It
maybe
Devours.
Is this still a comedy show?
I guess.
We try.
Oh my god, do we try? We try all the time. Of course. So the Magnus Archives set in London. All British characters. So naturally there's a Bake Off fic.
Of course there is.
This fic is called The Great British Bake Off, starring our favourite gay podcast characters by Take the Breadsticks and Run. Run is in all caps.
I really badly want all the cakes to be
horror themed.
All 14 themed.
Oh, there might be.
Fingers crossed. That'll be quite good.
There's only one. Alright, whoever wins this gets to do the ritual.
So we have Martin, we've got John, we've got Gertrude still here, so she's still alive. So's Tim. Michael's here. Mary Berry is here. Mel and Sue is there. Elias is a squirrel.
Because why not?
Squirrel Elias is one of the characters. Okay, I have a theory. Oh no, Paul Hollywood is here too. That's fine. It's light and fluffy, just like the pastries.
Hey, that's
Elias
nice.
is an annoying squirrel outside the tent. Everyone hates him. He's a bastard squirrel.
Okay, so it's not really about the avatars squaring
That's a
off, but
shame.
it's like members
Yeah,
of the industry.
just baking.
I mean, it mentions there's 14 bakers, which does make me think there's one for each avatar, but I guess not.
Oh no, Nicola's playing.
Oh, fantastic! I've still not seen any. I should look for Nicholas smut before we go, because someone will have written that.
I don't want to hear about the Clussy.
Too bad.
Don't do that.
I don't like the way he had to get close up to the fucking microphone to do it
I'm trying
either.
to channel my boy Elias, but I guess not.
Can't do Elias,
I
bro.
know
You're
I
not ready. You're not the iDaddy yet.
Probably
Got a
for
long
the
way
best.
to go. You got more fanfics to
Oh
read.
no! Oh, Grace is onto something. Shit, this has been the Magnus Archives all along.
No, come on, we don't have the reviews for that, do we?
You know what? We fucked up.
The 15th fair.
We should have been reading. We should have been talking about these fics in the style of how John does them. So, for example, let me post this one. I don't even know what this one's about yet. It's just what was on the front of my screen. Statement of Violetta _ Lamau regarding Miss Muffet can eat my worms. Magnus
Flawless.
Archives group
Chapter
chat
1.
fic, but me edition. Season 1 AU, where Jane Prentice decides instead of terrorizing Martin, she wants to ruin Elias's scheming. This leads to problems.
Yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah. I'm still just trying to find slash fics about Nikola Orsanov, but it's not happening yet.
Oh, thank God.
I just want...
This fandom has taste. Ish.
Ish.
Ish. I just want to point
Maybe
out...
I haven't narrowed my filter enough. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm going to say, I just wanted to point out in the summary, problems are solved through open communication and brain cells rescued from the lost and found. It's just like being at work, but yeah.
Yeah. I found it, Grace.
Oh no.
Statement of Radiation Poison 3D regarding the stars wish to speak to you. This is Nikola Orsanov / reader. So it's not only smart, it's self-insert smart.
I see.
The tags include kidnapping, vaginal fingering, how do you tag an evil clown mannequin fucking you with their friends? TMA is a horror podcast first and foremost. Please don't archive. John would be horrified.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
There we go. We got Clussy. Thank you, Radiation Poison 3D.
is that where we're ending this, on Clussy?
No, we can keep
Again.
going if you want. I can find more Clussy too.
Oh, for God's sake.
There's Clussy and Worm Girl here.
And what?
Worm Girl, Jane Prentice, avatar of the bug one.
Oh God, this is gonna be disgusting.
I'm not
isn't it?
clicking that one. Don't worry.
Fair enough.
Though there's a lot of them shipped together, which I didn't see coming. Probably should, because they're two like early villains. Yeah. Found Elias and John in here though.
Yeah,
Which
we haven't found
oddly rare pair, Elias and John. There's only 1,300 fics of them two. I guess people are that much more into John and Martin.
It is weird how you get that sometimes, like most of the authors being team whoever the creator intended. Yeah.
And, like, on paper, Elias and John it's tailor-made for fics. It's enemies to lovers. It's got a bastard with a handsome voice. It's got everything. But no, just doesn't happen that often. Is there anything else we need to look for before we wrap up? Because I've just noticed how long my recorder's been going.
Yeah, I was going to say, I am happy to be led by you guys, but I am flagging quite severely now.
I just
same.
just want to drop in. I've got some MPreg.
Okay.
Of
One
course.
more thing. This is statement of orphan_account begin/behold. John agrees to carry some thing for the eye when Elias asks, because he's not sure there's another choice to make. Yeah.
I like how the notes are, I just wanted to write self-indulgent pregnant smut, and I ended up with over 6,000 words of whatever the fuck this is.
Be the change you want to see.
Yes.
Even if it is cosmic horror and everything that comes with. Okay, what have we learned today?
Not a lot.
No, I kind of knew everything.
Much like Jonathan Sims.
Yeah.
I've learned I need to experience this, I feel.
Oh, you really do.
Yeah.
It's up your alley.
I think it's the kind of sometimes squeamish, weird horror that I get a kick out of.
Yeah, I mean, each statement comes with a different genre of fear, I would say. It does depend what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, like, some of it is kind of more gory horror, some of it is more paranoid, mental health kind of horror. But you'll have fun with it, I think. Even though you've had a couple spoilers today.
Yeah, I think I will, because by the time I get round to it, I will have forgotten. But like as I've mentioned, November, the training centre is about 4 hours south of me, so I will have I will have a hell of a drive. Yeah.
To listen to Magnus, yeah.
That's it. I'll have a hell of a drive there and a hell of a drive back.
Exactly.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Good.
By the time you get back, you'll be paranoid
Yes.
as fuck because all you've been listening
You will
to.
shit. You will shit your face.
On the last day, I set off at like 5 o'clock, and I'll probably get in at about 10ish because of traffic around the M25. So yes, you are
Good
probably
luck.
right. Yeah, driving up the M18 in the dark.
The joys.
I binge listened to the Magnus Archives, and my nightmares were
Oh,
awful.
Oh,
Like woke up screaming, kind of fucking awful.
it is kind of fitting because I was talking with some of my other friends this morning about my only episode of sleep paralysis, and I've also learned that on BBC 4 tonight, Threads is on. So
Yes.
it's a horror day. Yeah.
Well, this is going out on Halloween, so of course it is a horror day.
Yes, 100%.
Because we're recording this on Halloween.
Definitely. Yeah, it's very spooky outside.
I can turn it around in a day. Obligatory self-indulgence from myself. So, my vision for Season 5.
Oh, the
How I
ending.
expect-
Yeah.
How
okay.
I expected this to play out. we end with the season 4 cliffhanger. All the entities have been drawn to the Earth. They're all there at once. They're manipulating the fabric of reality and scaring everyone. Because that's what the entities want. They want to scare people because they feed off fear. So, there is something in psychology called exposure therapy. What that does is they just put you in the room with your fear until you just stop being scared of it.
Oh, God.
And it has no power over you because you've just been in the room with it. Terrifying thing to do. I'd never do it. But it's something you can do. I thought that's where they were going with this. I thought the idea was, once the entities are in the universe, it'll be scary for a bit, but eventually if you're just directly looking at your fear, eventually it just stops being scary.
Right.
Much like how serial killer films, like once you know all their moves, it's like, oh. Like, Jason Voorhees isn't that scary anymore because everyone knows he's become a known entity.
I know what you're saying. I think I would have been disappointed with that ending, though.
But it could have just it could have just sort of gradually happened in the background. I'm thinking that eventually humans gradually become more and more immune to the fears because the fears lose they lose the effects they have on people, and eventually they just start dying out on their own. Much like the ending to War of the Worlds, when the aliens just start dying from natural diseases.
Okay, yeah.
And then...
Still a better ending than what actually happened. But...
I think, yeah, the actual ending involved sending them to a different universe using the magic of the web, which I wasn't that into, if I'm honest. But, yeah. I think gradual exposure therapy, making the fears less effective, and them gradually beginning to just eat themselves and just disappearing. I think that would have been quite good. But that's me. How did you want the Magnus Archives to end? Why not write in and tell us?
I will let you know once if I ever do reach season 5.
You should, but I will say 1 to 4 higher quality in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm starting to think the fandom agrees, because most of the fics we saw today do tend to ignore the apocalypse, as they were calling it.
I quite like the apocalypse setting, and I think that it would have been good to have it, but I think it would have been also good if the avatars who were acting as kind of pins keeping the entities in that world, and you slowly unhooked the pins, and once you got rid of them all, the thing would lose its grip on the reality and slide back to where it came from. I was kind of hoping it to be a bit more like that.
That could have been good.
Like a murder spree and like boss battles.
Yeah, but, I think that's it ultimately, because we did have a few boss battles, but they were just because of the nature of the medium. It's just John reading poetry at them till they explode. Yeah,
it would have been better as a film.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Oh, well, maybe. I'd like to see it as a film. I'd shit myself, but it'd be a good film.
Pants would be shat.
But by that time, we'll probably be in adult diapers anyway.
Exactly. So next week.
No.
If you say so.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll shit your pants.
Exactly. And I hope you shat your pants today, listening with us. That's a shit way to end. That's a terrible way to end the show.
No.
Is that how we're leaving this?
Thanks for listening. We hope you shat yourself. Oh, that's what I could do. Maybe I'll put jump scares into the edit.
No. No. It's bad enough when I laugh. You don't need to jump.
If we ever make it big
really
enough,
funny. It's like, rah.
If we ever make it big enough to have gatekeepers amongst our fans. Oh yeah, you're not a true fan. True fans actually shit themselves during the Halloween episodes.
No, fucking hell.
I can't imagine anyone would be doing that.
No, 100%.
Sure.
I like to think we're a friendly place to hang out.
Yeah, if you're out there listening to this, we've made it to 1 billion fans, and you're gatekeeping what a true shipping forecast fan is, cut it out.
Yeah.
Simmer down. Yeah, I think that's all we have time for, because we've recorded a lot of footage. I might make that quiz a separate episode just to make life easier.
Yeah, fair enough. Bonus content.
Exactly. So, yeah, thanks for listening if you made it this far. If you enjoyed it, tell your friends, and share the love, which can include telling us. We'll be back in November, back to our normal schedule, probably. We'll find out. Don't know yet. Schedule's going to be a bit wonky. This time it's my fault, because I'm going to America for 2 weeks, where I'm going to watch all the things that I said I did legally.
Fair enough.
I think you said it for the past 2 recordings.
Yeah, I can't remember. Right. Have fun, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night.
Alright, good night.
Good night.